All right, it's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So we have a few things to talk about this week. So first off, we had a really successful feast. The Feast of the Blessed Sacrament came back after a 3-year hiatus during COVID, and it was, if it wasn't the biggest, it was certainly one of the biggest feasts we had. People were really eager to get back, including me. I had a great time kicking off the event. And being out there at various points along the way during the weekend. It all went down well, and it was great to see so many people out there. I want to just thank the Feast Committee for sticking with it. That's not that they would not have stuck with it. It's just that they went through a lot, like so many others, over the last few years to keep things going, and they did it very successfully. And I want to thank our city departments, especially our emergency services departments, for making sure that all the security measures behind the scenes were attended to. Great job on that, and a great job by DPI and the licensing board for their work and ensuring that everything fell into place. And we look forward to to the feast next year. We're already counting down. A couple of other things to note. So this week we are going to be naming the SeaLab Building on Portland Street on the peninsula in honor of former Mayor Fred Kalisz. Mayor Kalisz was instrumental in the construction of that building. It was a great, he was a huge supporter of the SeaLab program over the years, and something that he had worked hard to advance. And as everyone now knows, unfortunately, he passed away last year due to complications from COVID-19, unexpectedly and very sadly, of course. But this week we are celebrating his legacy and celebrating his work to support the SeaLab program, and so I would just invite everybody to come on out on Saturday, this coming Saturday, to be part of it. It'll be quite a celebration and a testament to his commitment to service here in the city. The next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk a little bit about voter turnout. So we have an election. It doesn't feel like it. We have an election coming up on the day after Labor Day and the Tuesday after Labor Day immediately. And there aren't a lot of people around here who are talking about it, but it is coming up really fast. And I want to make sure that, I hope that we're doing everything we can to get voter turnout higher here in the city. It has been low. There's no sugarcoating it. Our voter turnout has been really low, and that has lots of effects. I mean, we know that it's important to vote for all the reasons we're familiar with. I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I will say this. One reason that is less heralded is that when statewide candidates go around the state and determine where they should be spending their time, spending their political capital, spending their energy, they look at how many people vote. And you can look at a city like ours of over 100,000, you'd assume that, well, they'd be spending a lot of time here because we're big and we're the center of things in our region. But the reality is that they look at how many people vote, and they look at places that are smaller than us that actually turn out more voters than we do for Democratic primaries or any Democrat or Republican primaries. And we have to work together to change that, to encourage people to come on out, even if it's somewhat inconvenient. You can vote by mail now readily in Massachusetts. There's a way to do that. You can go on the city's website to check out how to make that happen. And we do early voting. It's all in place, but we got to do it. So we just ask everybody to take time out of their day, whether it's by on the election day itself or by mail-in, just to send in your ballot. I'm not suggesting whom to vote for. All I'm suggesting is that we need to vote for the betterment of the city. The last thing, and that probably won't be the last time I say that, the last thing I want to say is we're here at Cable Access Studios, which where you see lots of programming take place, and the staff at Bedford Cable Access does such a professional job in producing really high quality content for for all of our viewers out there. And today we're here to talk about climate change with Station Manager Jim Marshall and Channel 10 meteorologist Mark Searles. We talked at length about climate change. You'll see that program coming up at some point soon. But we are a city, and I just encourage everybody to watch it. We're a city that's, because climate change affects us more, right? Whether it's coastal surges or the heat that we feel in the inner city, or the effects on the fishing industry, we've got to deal with it more than most places. And so that show goes into some detail about that. I would just suggest that everybody may want to take a look. We're going to be continuing to talk more about climate change for the foreseeable future. It's here to stay, and in many ways, the horse is already out of the barn. If we did all the policy measures that are recommended to mitigate climate change tomorrow, we would still see rising temperatures for a long time to come. And so we're going to continue to see the effects that we have felt even in like the last couple of weeks, the dryness, the heat, the aberrant weather. So we take it seriously here in New Bedford because there's no avoiding it. And we want to do our part to ensure that our kids and grandchildren have better lives, can have access to high quality life here in the city as we do. So more work ahead on that, but I encourage you to watch the show. With all that, this has been the Mayor's Weekly Update. We'll see you soon.